Solo Tantra versus masturbation. On the 17th and 18th of November in Dublin, I will hold another Solo Tantra weekend. And for me, this is an adult sex education workshop. And today I wanted to explain a little bit of why it is so important to actually practice Solo Tantra. Solo Tantra for me is just a name that I have used, but ultimately it's self-love. So Solo Tantra practice is self-love practice, and today I want to look at it. What are the differences and why it is so important that it's Solo Tantra or self-love compared to the typical, stereotypical masturbation practice. So today I thought that let's take a little tool, and this tool is called the Wheel of Consent. A wonderful woman called Betty Martin has brought out the Wheel of Consent, and on this basis I want to explain a little bit what's going on, why the difference between the both. So if you want to check it out, it's wonderful for any relationships or only for how the dynamics work in between you and your environment. The Wheel of Consent, www.bettymartin.org, and you'll find all informations. It's wonderful and it's a massive piece in your personal power. So here is our little wheel, or our grids, let's say that way. We don't want to go into the consent too much because it is it is self-love practice, it's Solo Tantra practice. But we have a little grid, and these are the quadrants, right? And the quadrants are in you are doing. So this area is doing, this is being done to. And then we have on the other side, we have the receiving, and we have the giving side. So if we start here, you are doing, the first one I think that we do is we are giving, right? You are doing, we're giving, and the other one that is also there that we are doing is sometimes it's taking. So this is very important. Being done to means the opposite of giving is accepting, or let's say receiving. That works for us here better. So if you take, what is the other person then? Must be going into allowing. And these are the four quadrants that are really important, and you will see in any kind of relating to other people, these are the real important dynamics that happen. So when we say Solo Tantra or self-love practice versus masturbation, what we're doing is that when you are doing, most of the time when we are doing the traditional way of, like the traditional way, I say, the way how we have started with is because we haven't had any sexual education, we're going into taking. So we go right around, we're going into masturbation practice. And that's why masturbation in the Bible or so, it's called a sin. I don't think that self-love is a sin, but I fully agree that masturbation is a sin. And now let me explain why I'm saying that. So as you are doing and you go dropping into the right way path, into the taking. So let's do a big arrow here. It's going like this. It's going into taking. That means you're receiving, right? It's for you. Who is the you here? So when you are doing it, to whom are you doing it in self-love or in masturbation practice? To your body. So you're taking from you, from your body. This is the other part. And the body also needs to drop into allowing. And here comes the big thing. In Solo Tantra, in self-love practice, what you do is you go the other way around. You change the energy dynamics. And that means you're doing, but you're choosing consciously to give. So you're going this way around. And if you're going into giving, then that you're giving to, in this case, your body is going into receiving. And this is crucial, absolutely crucial. Because if you think, if we can open this up now, most relationships, they break down after a longer period of time because this right-hand path the constant taking, or let's say the masculine path, right? The masculine path where the taking is important. The other person needs to step into allowing. And sooner or later, when you allow and allow and allow and allow and allow, you become the doormat, which is a problem because no empowerment really can happen when you're the doormat all the time. So don't understand me wrong, in BDSM practices or whatever, playing out the doormat, for those who like it, it's wonderful. But not all the time. If you're all the time the doormat and you always allow and people step over you and trample over you, it won't work. So this path, this circle between taking and allowing sooner or later breaks down. And that means in a relationship between man and woman, for example, and the man has sexual urges and he's going into taking from the woman and the woman is going to allowing, sooner or later this circle will break down. But the giving circle, giving presents to someone, giving them a massage, so wanting to meet them so that they receive something out of the sexual relating, that will basically always become a loop, and it will keep going, giving and receiving, giving and receiving. But if we're not careful, this taking and allowing path, that sooner or later will break down, because there's only so far the body can go. Whilst we're at that, when you allow too often, what is happening? When you're going the taking path, when the you, right, this is for you and you are doing, who is doing it? Who is the you? The body? No, it's the mind. The mind, because the mind is telling you what to do. The mind is telling me now I want to do this. So the mind is doing it and the mind is choosing, look, I'll take from the body, right? Here, this side is being done too. To what are we doing it in self-love practice? We're doing it to the body. So down here is the body. The body is allowing that. He hasn't got a voice. All that he can do is he can go numb, have any kind of dysfunctions, going completely or being too quick also. So all this is happening here because it's too much allowing here, because it's not really what the body wants. If we go the other way and giving, then we're going into receiving. So what we said here, the allowing, that will break down sooner or later because it is depleting our reserves. So it's going down. We go lesser and lesser, self-worth, confidence, self-love in particular, is going down. It's getting depleted when we become more and more a doormat. But when we receive more presence, more touch, more love, more kindness, and more pleasure, what happens? This is going to fuel us. So this is fueling. And this will allow us to raise our vibration. We're going upwards. So this is really, really important. So the allowing is all about enduring, it's about tolerating, it's about being the victim, and it's about the doormat. On the other side, the taking part here in the masturbation part, right, is the perpetrator, the stealing. It's to rape. I rape my body. I know from my childhood, my God, I just wanted this chemical cocktail of oxytocins and endorphins flooded in my system so that I could deal with and keep going, because I had too much anxiety, maybe too much boredom. I was stuck in so many ways. So I used masturbation practice, and what I needed to be quiet, I needed to be fast, and I needed to have as many orgasms as I could. So I went into the perpetrator, into even the rape. I had war with my body. My body didn't want that. Within 5 minutes to have 3 orgasms or whatever, just for this junky fix, this quick fix. So this also, because it's quick, it's mostly done silently, secretly, and certainly with a lot of judgment. This is the fast food. This is the quick way, right? This is the junk path where you go very, very quick. In the giving path, it takes a little bit of time. Time is not of the issue here. When I choose to give to myself, I'll have some time. I put some candles on, I put music on, I go into a nice setting, or getting out of the bath, I have a new towel, whatever, right? So there is more preparation. Whilst this is much quicker. This is the fast food. I have an urge, right? The urge you are doing. Why are you doing something? Mostly because we have an urge, right? We grow up as sexual energy is just something within our body, but it's creative energy. So often we have to sit still under the table. We have to eat what comes on the table. Do what mommy tells you. There is no creative process. So in that sense, our sexual energy is exploding as creative energy, wanting to bring us to our fullest potential self. And when this comes too strongly across, then what happens, we have the urge and we say, no, I need to relieve myself. I need to let go of this pressure. And I need to create this chemical cocktail within our body through an ejaculation, through an orgasm. But we're taking that from our body. We're not asking our body, look, this is what I need now. How could I get there? So when the battery is already empty, our batteries, our energy levels, then the last little bit we have, we squirt out more than less through an act of taking, of raping our body, which is deadly, which is really depleting. And it's putting us down in a spiral of constant survival and not being good enough, not lovable. But on the other side, when we go into giving and we use all our heart and say, okay, what do I need? And I know that, right, here's a battery, I'm a battery. And what do I need given for a present now so that I can receive that I can refuel myself in self-love? Whatever that means. That doesn't always mean sexual stuff, but self-love means 1,000 things to 1,000 people, right? They're all different. So this is really important. I always would say that the taking, here this side, the old masturbation practice, for me there was always a huge amount of force behind it. There was always muscle contraction and holding my breath, and it couldn't be loud. And I canalized all this energy into this. I just wanted the goal of having, as I said, this chemical cocktail. But giving always has to do something with a skill. And this is why the Solo Tantra weekend, or even the Solo Tantra 1, the Saturday workshop, has something to do where it's an adult education class. It's where I give you and show to you the skills, what you need to do, that you can go into giving, that the giving ends up at the body to receive and to fuel your body. And as you're becoming better at fueling your body, what will happen is you will expand, you will grow, you will rise your vibration. And we all know what that happens when you're happier, when you're getting closer towards love. So, what have I got? The receiving is always the feeling side. Here in the receiving, what do you do when you lie on a massage bed and you get a wonderful massage? You relax, you breathe in your belly. You're exhaling more, you're letting go, and all the tension can flow from you. And what is the big issue in today's society of all the disease and illness? It's stress. Stress at the core of our cells. So when we receive, when we feel safe, we can relax, we can breathe in our bellies, we can exhale more and let go. But as we are allowing, sometimes allowing can be good. I allow this to happen because I want to be ravaged or whatever, but not all the time. So as I'm allowing, what I do, I protect myself. I go into contraction. I hold my breath. I breathe into my chest, right? To be ready to fight or flight or freeze. So I contract here. So the more contraction I have, the more I allow, the more contracting become. And this is so often what also happens with people. Their hips, their whole bodies cannot work with sexual energy anymore because they're stiff, they're contracted. So now we need to learn to actually give and receive so that we can open up again. And when the opening up happens, more feeling comes through and everything else will go much better. So I hope that explained a little bit Why is it important to learn about self-loving practice? And why do we need to override our old habits of masturbating, of taking from our body just so that we can get this chemical cocktail? I hope that was helpful, and I'll maybe see you in Dublin on the 17th and 18th of November. Bye for now.